Oh, it's that wonderful time of the year for some Atari VCS sales. Let's get into it. What's going on, everyone? It's Rich Haywood here for Big and Ice Cream Productions and Team RTFC, welcoming you to yet another episode of the Good Times Newsline Flashcast. Yeah, that's right. That's right. We are back in action with some Atari VCS news updates. That's right. That's right. It is time for some more Atari VCS game sales. That's correct. That's correct. So let's before we get ourselves into the box, let me do some little housekeeping on these Atari VCS sales. This VCS sale will include 76 games, so it's going to be a little bit of a long one. Hope you guys brought some hot chocolate, sitting by the fire, ready to go, and take a look at some of these game sales. We've got ranges from just a little under 10% to 25%, all the way through the 90 percentile off. And in some cases, some of these games from Atari have never been on sale before and are on sale on pretty deep discounts. So you might want to take a look, settle in, and watch with me as we go over these game sales. So what is it time for? That's right. It's time to go into the box and check out these game sales on the Atari VCS. I'm going to go through them all, every single one of them, and then we'll have a chat about whether or not it's a recommended pickup or all those kind of things that I normally do in most of these videos. So let's get in there and see what we can see. All right, we got the store up, we got me in the box, and we've got the list up and ready for action. We're going to start with Atari VCS Vault 2. That's right. Atari VCS Vault 2 is on sale for the first time since I've been doing these recordings. What? And it's $1.25. Let me tell you right now, if you do not own Atari Vault 2 and you own a VCS, you need to drop $1.25 on Atari Vault 2 right now. You've got 100 games for $1.25, folks. 100 games for $1.25. You didn't hear that wrong. Relive the golden age of gaming with 100 of the most iconic Atari games from the 70s and 80s now with online multiplayer capability. This extensive catalog includes Atari classics like Asteroid, Centipede, Missile Command, many more, paired with intuitive new controls. It's $1.25. I'm just going to let that sit there, and we're going to move on. Get it. Just get it. Then we go back to some mainstays on sale lists. Pixel Games back in action with Siggy, Fart for Mezzolina. It's $2.50. It's a cool game. It's a cool action little platformer thing. We had a great time with it. The Fun for Fives were really good on this one. One of the early games on the Atari VCS. We had a blast. Very good times. So definitely check that out. As is Sir Love-A-Lot, another Pixel game, 50% off at $5. Not a bad title in and of itself. This one is more puzzly platformer. Think like Meat Boy-ish, like that kind of thing. Definitely kind of cool. Worth your time to check out indeed. Then we got to skip a little up. All right, we're going to skip a little some of these games. You're seeing some of the games on the list. They're not meaning, just because they're not on sale doesn't mean you shouldn't check them out. But that's another video. We're here for the sales. So Centipede Recharged. Now we get into the Recharge games. They're all back on sale, and every single one of them is $3.50. That's $3.50. That's 70% on $10. Just under 65%, something like that. It's a good deal. Deep discount, $3.50. If you don't own all of the Recharge games, and again, you own an Atari VCS, they're pretty much all great. So if you're missing one, $3.50 isn't going to break the bank. Go ahead into the store and pick it up. If Centipede Recharge is one of those games for you, it's got that neon look. It's got that cool aesthetic. Very much worth your time to look at. It's a good time. Awesome soundtracks by Megan McDuffie on all of these Recharge games. Very, very cool. Definitely worth your time to check out. Go ahead and check those out. Black Widow Recharged, again, $3.50. And again, that neon style, that like cool, like very, very faithful to the original, but with that twist that bends your perception of what that old title was when you're playing it on the arcade, and gives it a little spin with some power-ups and like that kind of stuff. Most of these Recharge games all feel like that. Very cool stuff. $3.50 again. Go for it. Asteroids Recharged, here we are. This was one of my favorite of the Recharge games. I really love Asteroids in and of itself. Asteroids Recharged is also really, really fun. I do have a personal attachment to the original 2600 version of Atari's Asteroids. I think, to me, that is the pinnacle. But that's probably because I'm the guy that spent hours and hours and hours on the floor of my Atari room playing this as a little kid, playing that version as a little kid. But the Recharge versions are really great and definitely worth your time. We go up again, skipping a couple more titles, back to Breakout Recharged. Again, it's $3.50. Again, it's another awesome recreation or reimagining of a really good title. It's really cool with the neon stuff and that awesome soundtrack and some like really cool effects and power-ups. And like you didn't really have power-ups back in the day in Breakout, but now you can get this, like you're getting like Arkanoid stuff on. It's super cool. It's really rad, and it plays very well. So very, very cool to check out. We're going to take a little bit of a break from the Recharged family of games. Still staying with Atari, though, Tempest 4000. Tempest 4000 is under 50% off now. It's $7. If you don't know what any of the Tempest series is, the Tempest 2000, Tempest itself, Tempest 4000, all these, it's a really cool tunnely shooter, very like kind of like trippy. Jeff Minter has done some work on some of these games. In fact, I think Jeff Minter it developed this one here, the Tempest 4000. Fantastic game, super crazy graphic stuff. If you're into that kind of thing, go ahead and pick it up. And like I said, $7, it's under 50% off. You're hitting the magic price point on these Atari games. So if you don't have them, now's the time to pick them up. It is a good deal. Speaking of other games by Atari that are on sale that you should be looking at and picking up, Combinera, one of my favorite games from about 2 years ago. This is one of that Meat Boyish puzzle, like platformy kind of games. Very super cool, really awesome aesthetic, really atmospheric audio, really cool graphics, that kind of thing. Definitely worth your time to check out. And at $4.50, I mean, come on, guys, you're not having a bad time at $5 for a $15 game. Definitely worth your time to pick up and check out. Combinera comes with a high recommendation from this guy right here. Gravatar Recharged, another $3.50 game. This one is really cool. It takes the aesthetic of Gravatar, puts a nice, super awesome coat of paint on this thing. You've got a really awesome aesthetic going on. Another atmospheric soundtrack action on this one. Very cool stuff. Again, if you haven't picked it up, it's $3.50. Come on, what are you waiting for? Pick up some Gravatar Recharged. Now we're moving away from the Atari stuff for a little bit, back to Pixel games. Donut Dodo, $2 off at $5.99. Still don't care. It could have been a sale for 50 cents off. I still would have told you guys it's worth the pickup. Donut Dodo is probably one of the best games on Atari VCS, period, done end of story. It's a fantastic game. Pixel Games has gone into this whole, you'll see it there's a whole series of these games that are on that new wave 80s style aesthetic arcade game. Crushed it. Absolutely crushed it. Everything about the game, the gameplay, the difficulty, the way the game feels, the audio, the graphics, all of it is super, super cool, super awesome to play. It harkens back to a day in which if this was a cabinet and you walked into an arcade, you would have played this game, but it didn't exist until now. So like it's a new old arcade game. I love those things. It's great. Definitely worth your time, even at the $5.99 price point. Meganoid, Orange Pixel makes a big splash on this sale. Sales all over the place. This one's $4.94 for Meganoid. This is one of those challenging platformer, kind of like not necessarily Meat Boy-ish, but kind of in the same vein. It's like really, really super hard. It's really cool. I had a lot of fun with it when I was playing the Fun for Five. Definitely worth your time to check out. Appletoon 2 from Lost Astronaut Studios is $3.99, $1 off. This was one of those ones that was like, it's kind of cool. It's got like a weird, awesome aesthetic, but it was really, really hard for me to like just kind of like get my brain around. But it does definitely seem like a really fun game to play and check out, especially if you're into those like kind of like weirder indie kind of games. But really cool, really worth your time to check out. $3.99, not bad. Get it for $1 off. Basically anything under $5 comes with a kind of a recommendation for me, because again, I mean, where else are you gonna get under $5 games? And I know you can go to the Steam sale or whatever, but on Atari VCS, it's cool. It's cool because you'll get a lot of games that are at the $10 range. You get a lot of games that are right over $10. But when it comes to the sales, you get under $5. Boom, you're in, right? Just pick some up. We go back to the Atari land at $3.50 for Yars Recharged. This one is awesome. I loved Yars Revenge back in the day. Great game, classic game from Hiram Scott Warshaw. This one is no different. It's not as classic as obviously the original is. However, it's got that spirit in it with a couple new twists and some really awesome things on it. We're actually still waiting, I think, for Howard Scott Warshaw's spiritual successor to Yars, which I believe he's still working on. So hopefully more on that later or soon. I don't know what he's doing. I know he wrote his book and he's still working in a different field, but I think he's still tinkering with that idea. So hopefully we'll see that soon. But if not, and from now until then, we can get $3.50 for a really cool spiritual spiritual hat tip to that whole game in Yars Recharged. Let's move along to Space Grunts, which is the next game on the list. We're going back to Orange Pixel Land. This one is a kind of like our arcadey gauntlet style kind of cool thing with like a space theme. Very cool. I had a lot of fun with this on the Fun for Five. Definitely a good time. Worth your time, even at the $8.24. It's just about half off. So it's a pretty cool discount. So if you're looking to add some Orange Pixel goodness to your console, can't do wrong with some Space Grunts. Let's go back to Atari Land, where Atari Mania down from $24.99 to $6.25. This is an automatic recommendation for me, even though it is, in my opinion, pretty difficult. It's got some really crazy, super difficult mini games that you have to get through in order to pass. I still have yet to go back and play and get some of these things done, but it's still a pretty cool game. And again, it's $6.25. You can't really go wrong. That's an automatic recommend for me. I would say go ahead and pick it up and check it out. It's cool though. It's like you're going through like this museum and you're like learning about like weird things that happened in Atari's history, and you're playing these mini games in a fun way. And some of them are really reminiscent of some classic, really difficult games that are not necessarily underrated, but infamous, like the Sword Quest series and that kind of stuff. It's kind of cool. It's definitely neat. Just go ahead and check it out. And we'll move on to Heroes of Loot, another Orange Pixel game for $4.67. You got it under that $5. Heroes of Loot is awesome. It is exactly kind of like what you would think. Gauntlet meets loot boxing meets just the faster action of today's indie games. Very cool, very worth your time. Definitely recommend that. And again, it's Orange Pixel back in the mix, so definitely check that out. Missile Command Recharged. I think it's one of the last ones. I think there's 2 more. 3 more? No, there's 3 more. 3 more games on the Recharge series. $3.50. This one is the newer version of the Missile Command Recharged game. Missile Command Recharged famously was the first Recharge game to come out. It was on iOS and mobile. Then they brought it to Atari VCS. It didn't play as well. And then they wound up remaking it and having the soundtrack redone again with Megan McDuffie. And this is that product at $3.50. This is the superior version. So if you had the older version and you're like, I really wish it was better, this is the better version. Go ahead and check it out in the store. It's $3.50. Pick it up and have a good time with that. We go back to some Orange Pixel goodness again at $4.94 with Gunslugs. This is another cool arcade game. Think now on this one. Think kind of Metal Slug, hence the kind of the hint of the names. Very cool aesthetic, very cool gameplay. I think it's a good time. I had a fun time when I was playing it on the Fun for 5, and you might as well. We're back in Atari land with Atari 50, one of the coolest sets of games in all of existence. It is $16.49, so just over 50%, just under 50% off. It's like that 40-something, 48% off or something like that. If you guys don't own Atari 50, at this price point, there's no excuse to not own it, in my opinion. It is worth the full price and more. I know we don't get all of the cool DLCs, and I know that some people feel a little sore about that, but I still think as a solid product, Atari 50 in itself, without any of the DLCs, was one of the finest products I've purchased in a long, long time. It is a complete love letter to Atari, to all of its games, to everything. And every time I see this on sale, I automatically say, it doesn't matter. It could have been $5 off. I still would have told you guys to pick it up. It's Atari 50. Again, if you have a VCS and you don't own this one, it's one of those things where like it's almost you're almost doing it wrong. They picked it up. It's a great game. Got really awesome things. This timeline feature is so cool. You can play all these games, but you can also watch all these cool different features. It's really, really awesome. It's such a good celebration of what we all grew up with, and I think it's worth your time for sure. We're going back to some Orange Pixel again, bouncing back and forth to Residual. This one is a little more cerebral. This one is one of those games where it's a little more exploration based. It's a little more take your time with it. Think a little. Got a cool aesthetic. Got a cool graphics. Very neat. It wasn't necessarily for me at the time when I was playing it, but I think this is one of those games where you give it more time and it's going to grow on you. It's $7.14. It's under the $10 mark. That makes it a little more easy to kind of get in there and check out. I definitely recommend it because, again, you're getting under that $10 mark. Might as well, if you're looking for, you try to complete your Orange Pixel collection. Didn't know this one was on sale. Want to look for something new? Definitely give it a shot. We go to Aka R. We're back in Atari land with yet another Jeff Minter crazy nonsense game where it's just pixels everywhere, just mind-blowing like weirdness on screen. It's really cool. I had a good time with it on the Fun for 5. It's $5. It's 75% off at $5. You can't go wrong. If you're looking for some Jeff Minter action, definitely check it out. It's a good time. It's a good time. So definitely take a look at that one. We go back into the Atari Recharged box, pluck out Caverns of Mars Recharged, $3.50. This is one of those descent shooters. It's really kind of cool, really cool design aesthetic. It's kind of difficult to play, but you can definitely get into it. It's a little more atmospheric than even some of the other, especially some of the earlier titles that were very like neon recreations of said title. This one takes a little bit more artistic liberty, in my opinion, than the original. But I think it's worth it. And again, at $3.50, It got cool graphics, got kicking soundtrack. It's got like the feel and legacy of the original game, and you get to play it in a different new way. Very cool stuff. Gunslugs 2. If you liked the first Gunslugs for $5 more at $4.94, you can get some more Gunslugs. It is cool. It is more Gunslugs. It is definitely a improvement on the original formula. And it's really cool to see that an indie developer got to making so many games that they started making sequels of some of their more popular ones. Hats off to Orange Pixel for that. It's not going to be the last one that you see, and it's definitely worth your time. Speaking of, going to Heroes of Loot 2, I really had a good time with this. At $4.94, I can wholeheartedly recommend this one. Something a little bit like more tight about the level design in this one, about the movements, about all of the different pickups that you can do. This one's really cool. It's really super fun to play. Not a drag on the first one at all. I definitely still recommend the first one as well, but this one is very, very cool. And for the $4.94, go on, check it out. It's pretty good stuff. Then we get to our friends over at Blue Sunset Games with Skinny and Franco. Famously on this channel was the one game that I couldn't show a single frame of because it was absolutely worthy of the 16+ rating that it got for violence and foul-mouthedness and all that kind of stuff. But there are some people that like this game, including friends of mine and coworkers of mine. I put it on actually. I just as a demo, I was like, hey, we want to see some, really crazy beat 'em up, and gave it to a work colleague of mine on the work VCS. I walked away. 30 minutes later on their break, they were still playing this game, and they were like, where can I get this? And I was like, I don't know. I think I only have it on this VCS. And he's like, where can I get one of these? And I was like, wow, you really want to buy a VCS just to play Skinny? Okay, cool. So clearly people like the game and like the aesthetic. And for that is $1.90 for under $2, a $19 game for under $2. It comes with an automatic recommendation just on price alone. However, that is where that lies. I mean, if you're not into the heavy violence, if you're not into the heavy language, if you're not into really mature themes in your games, then you would definitely want to skip out on this one. But at $1.90, if you really love beat 'em ups and you don't mind having a beat 'em up that may or may not want to premiere on HBO Max, then this is it. Then this is the one. So $1.90. Blue Sunset Games is taking the mantle from my buddy Khan at Meccan Games, who unfortunately doesn't have a single game on sale for this sale. Like, oh, where are you, Meccan? Hope everything's all well. But anyway, Blue Sunset's definitely taking that mantle and saying, hey, you want some cheap games? We're here for you. And this is where it starts. So while we wait for more of those games to show up, we're going to go to Groundskeeper 2 from Orange Pixel, $4.94. This one is another one of those cool, like, I don't know, it's like a hub game where you have a hub world and you go out and you could go do stuff and you come back and you do your upgrades and stuff and then you go back out and then you come back in. I don't know what the genre is, but it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool aesthetic. You've got supernatural, you got robots, you got monsters, you got all sorts of crazy stuff. Really cool aesthetic. $4.94 seems to be the running theme for price point for Orange Pixel games. Definitely worth your time to check out if you're interested in that kind of thing. Then let's go to Mr. Run and Jump. We're back in the Atari land. This one's just over $11, or just over the 50% mark at $11.24, just over $10 as well. This one is super cool. It is a run and jump, speed run, like hard platformers heaven. In fact, there's a lot of runners that still run this game. It's really cool. I saw this, a lot of talented runners were doing this on the Awesome Games Done Quick. Very cool stuff. Very worth your time to check out in case you're into that super hard platformer Meat Boy kind of thing. And $11.24, I wouldn't shy away from it. Its normal price of $24.99 or $22.49, I should say. Just about half off there. go ahead and pick up yourself some Mr. Run and Jump and have a good time over the holidays. Now let's go to Quantum Recharge. We're almost done with the Recharge games, but not quite. I think there's still one more after this. $3.50 for some Quantum Recharge. This one is an interesting one. This is where at Quantum, the mechanics of the games start to go really out into left and right field. You're kind of out there. You're not exactly sure what is going on, but you kind of want to play anyway. And that is exactly how I felt about it when I played it, because I think I played Quantum on an arcade somewhere in Fun Spot in Laconia, but I don't remember the experience of what the controls were, like if there were physical controls that were different than just joystick and buttons. I want to say yes to that. So it feels a little weird to play, but it does still have all of the aesthetics of a Recharge game, that neon feel, the cool graphics, and the awesome soundtrack. Definitely worth your time to check out in case you're trying to get that collection sorted. $3.50. Come on. Like, just get in there and get yourself some cool deals. Ultimate Ski Jumping, winner of cheapest game on the Atari VCS sale for December 2025. It's $1. $10 game down to $1. That's 90% off. It is a cool game. I'm not joking. Yes, it's a game where you do just ski jumping, but this is one of those games where I just kept playing. And apparently, I didn't get all the way to it, but apparently there's a stage. Is it on here? No, they didn't show it in the preview. Apparently, there's a stage on the moon where you can ski jump on the moon. Come on. Who doesn't want to buy this game for $1 and then find out where you can go, like you get all the way to the moon stage and then find out what it's like to ski jump on the moon? Come on, it's $1. It's Blue Sunset Games. They've got all, like, they're throwing out all the stops. They're like, hey, buy my game. So there you go. Let's go on to another Atari game, one that we covered extensively in various places, including a lost episode of Good Times with Retro Rich, where I went to the Neo Sprint and participated in the Neo Sprint tournament at Too Many Games 2024, and then I messed it up and the video didn't come out, and all. It's a loss to time, but I'll bring it back one day. But anyway, it's a pretty cool game. It's got that whole top-down RC Pro-Am sprint. There's another slot car game kind of thing that I've played before. I can't remember. Like Super Off-Road, like that kind of thing. It's really cool. It's got that cool aesthetic. I like the game itself. I like the levels. The levels are cool, very well designed. It's just fun to play. And at $3.75, we're under the $5 mark, right near where all those Beyond, the Recharge games are. Very cool. Pick it up. Play some cool Atari games for under $5. It's good times. We got Days of Doom, which is the infamous game on Good Times with Retro Rich as being the one Atari game where I wanted to play. I wanted to make this super awesome, like, live stream fun for $5 because it's a tactical RPG. And I was like, oh my goodness, I can't wait to play this. It's going to be awesome. Then I just never did because I never got that time. And then I didn't actually play it. But it looks so fun. It looks absolutely so fun. And if it wasn't for the fact that I already bought it for $29.99 when it launched, I'd definitely be buying it right now for $7.50. A tactical RPG for under $10. Heck yeah. Let's go. So if that's you and you think like that when you're talking about tactical RPGs that are set in like post-apocalyptic horror stuff, let's go. Right? It's rated 7+, so it can't be that bad. You know, you're not getting like crazy gibbing and all that kind of crazy stuff. So can't wait to play this. It's definitely going to be fun for $5 early in 26. But more on that later. But it's $7.50 for everyone. So let's go. Let's check it out. Planetary Defense Force. We're back in Blue Sunset Land, and we're at $1.20 for this one. This one is a interplanetary tower defense kind of game. It's like, what if you took a tower defense game and put it on, I don't know, like the aesthetic of like Super Stardust, I guess. That's what it makes me like feel like. It's like makes Super Stardust a tower defense game. It's weird, but cool. And I think it takes a little bit to wrap your mind around it, but it's neat. It's neat. And for $1.20, come on, $1.20. Blue Sunset, like I said, taking the mantle right off of our friends over at Mecca Games and going, we got the cheap games, come and play. So go and play. JD Video Game Productions is also in that mix. $1.20, Superstar Shooter 16, got a really cool retro aesthetic. It's got that like weird tunnel shooter kind of thing going on for it. Very, very neat. The screenshots don't necessarily make it look, like they don't really do anything for you, but it is cool. We had a fun time on the Fun for Five playing it, and you might too. So definitely check that out. We got Haunted House at $9.99. Haunted House is the spiritual successor of the original Atari 2600 game, and when you look at these screenshots, you're like, wait a minute. That's way too much graphics for a Haunted House. Because this is basically, they turned it into like an adventure game, a la like Maniac Mansion with puzzly, like actual action puzzle game elements. Really kind of cool, really cool aesthetic. I liked it when I was playing it on the Fun for Five. It definitely took me in a completely different direction. I had no idea where this was going, but I like it, and it was pretty neat. And for $10, again, it's 50% off. Go on in, get yourself some Haunted House if you're into that thing. Now we get to, I think, what is the last Recharge game. That's Berserk Recharged. It's the Recharge game of one of my favorite games on Atari 2600 of all time. I absolutely love Berserk, as evidenced by the fact that I have the Berserk robot behind me at all times in my office. It is really cool. I love this. I love that game, and I really like this one. It is more difficult than the original. It is a little harder to control than the original, in my opinion. However, at $3.50, getting that cool new Neo aesthetic with the cool graphics and the awesome soundtrack, it's good. It's a good time. Everybody loves a good time when you're having like a nod to an original. And although you can have the original on the system as well and play that, Berserk Recharged is a good time, especially at that $3.50 price point. So that gets a recommendation. So now we're going to the land of Orange Pixel again at another $4.94 game. This is a Game Boy inspired puzzle platformer, looking really cool. Unfortunately, is on that list of games that fell off the radar for me. I don't know how it did or why it did, but there was that couple, like 2 or 3 weeks in a row, they dropped a whole bunch of games. I found for some and didn't go back for the others. It's this one and 2 more that are right in a row on the store that somehow missed my gaze, but they will be done in 2026. Rest assured on that, and we will talk about that then. However, at $4.94, it's a pretty good time. So, price point wise, anyway. Food Fright Culinary Combat for $5.25. That is now almost $10, full $10 off of the regular purchase price. That's almost like 60-something% of the cost. Awesome times. I actually tested this one for the developer, which was really awesome. I really enjoyed my experience with that. I really liked it. The only problem is there's not a lot of people that are playing it continuously, so it's really hard to kind of get people in. You got to check on the Discord and check to see what the community says about it. But still a cool game, still really neat. And for $5.25, maybe we can get more community members to come in and buy this one and play some Food Fight. I think it's cool. I really enjoy the aesthetic. I really enjoy like the little world that they built, like the hub and all this other kind of crazy stuff. It's fun. It's a fun time. So, and lots of different ways to play. And for $5, come on in and play some Food Fight. And then let me know so I can play with you. All right, awesome. Madness Beverage, an FPS, a full-blooded FPS at 16 plus. So yes, so gaming will be involved. It's Blue Sunset Games after all. $2.50. Come on, guys. It's $2. $2 for some like Doomish, Quake-ish, just blow stuff up in the most satisfyingly adult way possible. It's another one that fell off the tracks for me. Didn't get to play it on a Fun for Five. However, I will be doing that again in 2026. but it's $2.50, guys. I got it at $10 because I was going to get everything anyway, but at $2.25, come on, guys. Let's go. Blue Sunset, definitely hat tips, guys. Super hat tips for doing the good work of getting some cool stuff at really awesome prices for these players. Quamp 2, which is I think it's like I forget, it was like, yeah, it's a artful reimagining of Pong. And I was like, how do you get Quamp from Pong? And I don't know, some weird thing. Anyway, this one's really cool. I like the aesthetic of it. Like you're playing through an old school tube television on this one, like looking at all the different levels. Really cool, really puzzly, really brain bending. Very cool stuff. Very cool aesthetic. At $6, which is just a little above 75% off because it's $20 price point. Another really cool thing. This is made by the same team, if I'm not mistaken, as Combinera. So that puzzly, arty, like action platformy thing, it's worth the time. It's absolutely worth the time. So definitely check it out. And like I said, $6. It's a good time. So let's go on to Snake Core. Back to the Orange Pixel land. Back to the land of $4.94 games. And this one is pretty cool. You've got like, this one is one of those games where it's I think it's one of those kind of tower defense-y, like put your guys in a line, get like upgrades to your dudes, and then do that kind of thing. I think that's what it is. Yeah, mission-based take on the classic Snake. Yeah, it's like, so the guys are going to go in a certain path, but you have to put things in the way, kind of like towers, and make sure that they're either protected or can, defeat the monsters before they go through the path or something like that. It's cool. It's a cool game. And like I said, $5, $4.94. It's a good time. We go back to Pixel Games Land for Cash Cow DX, the second game in the what kind of trilogy of the new wave arcade games. Super cool. This one's really awesome. I like Donut Dono the best. I think Pixel Games really kind of knocked it out of the park with that first one, but this one is also a super cool game. Very neat. My buddy Ed over on the Evercade Effect, he likes this one. Love to see this one on Evercade. Looney Landers as well. We got Donut Dono on Evercade, but hopefully we can see these other two sometime soon. This one's really neat. It's got a cool aesthetic, cool soundtrack, cool controls. Very good stuff. Very, very good stuff. And for $5.99, it's $2 off. Still worth your time. Definitely worth your time to pick up. So if you're like those kind of games, definitely check it out. We go back to Atari Land. I love the fact that we keep saying we're going back to Atari Land because there's yet another Atari game that's on sale and it's under $10. Hello. Thank you. Yes. Lunar Lander Beyond, a reimagining of Lunar Lander in a way that I had completely not even thought of. Full story, full kind of crazy graphics. It was $30 price point when it first came out, $7.50. Look at this thing. Like, it's just from a vector graphics arcade game to like this crazy reimagining where there's all this different things and like there's ports and the story and like all this crazy stuff. It's good times. It's good times. I had fun with it when we were playing the Fun for $5, $7.50. It's under the $10 mark. If you haven't picked it up yet, definitely go do so on Atari VCS. It's worth your time. Go ahead and check it out. Popcorn Rockets, one of my fun games. My every time I see this on sale, I always recommend it. It was only $5 at launch. It's $2.50 whenever it goes on sale. This is one of the most fun arcade shooters I've ever played, and I'm not joking. The fun aesthetic here, the absolutely amazing tongue-in-cheekness of this game. It's got like that just like not. It's almost like dad joke level humor, but it's not a bad thing. It's just hilarious. It's just absolutely funny, super cool, really, really awesome. And again, it's $2.50. So like, give these guys a shot. Pick up this game. I love when games like this come out of nowhere and you look at it and you're like, what is this? This is the silliest thing ever. And then you play it and it's not like brutal either. You can play it and have some fun. It's not super punishing. You just sit around and you have a good time. and you you just have a laugh, and it's cool. It's very, very, very cool. So $2.50. Pick up yourself some popcorn rocket. It's a good time. You got Skyfrizz, my buddy. Liminalist contraptions, also known as Obsidian contraptions in some parts. $3.74 for a like C64 action platformer that is, kind of came out of nowhere. It's really awesome. It's definitely a cool time, especially for people that like that kind of stuff. If you're not interested in the C64 design aesthetic or that like really old school platformer thing, you might take a little bit getting used to this. However, again, it's under $5. It's really kind of cool. It's got like that super awesome indie aesthetic to it. I definitely like it. Just go ahead and check it out. It's good stuff. Now we're into games that are just barely missing the window of came out by Atari in the last year and a half, and are on sale for a little more or a little less than some of the others, but they're still pretty good things to look at, and is one of those ones that I didn't get to do just yet. It's kind of like Days of Doom. This one is Yars Rising. It's a Metroidvania set in the Yars universe, which is unbelievable. I cannot wait to play this game. I bought it when it launched at $29.99. I cannot wait to play it, and the fact that it's $15 right now just tells me to tell you guys I didn't even play it yet, but I think it's so cool that you should pick it up. Like, trust me. I think it's going to be a good time. And if I play it and I'm fun, and if I fun for 5 it and it's not a good time, and I have to eat my words, then I will eat my words on that fun for 5 and apologize to all of you. But I still think it's going to be a good time, and at $15, it's right close to that. Just automatic recommendation. So give it a whirl. Give it a whirl. Tiny Hands Adventures. Back to Blue Sunset Games. Back to games that are $1.80. These are under $2 games. This one's a 3D action platformer. I really liked it. At the Fun for 5 isn't the greatest controlling game in the world as far as 3D games go, but it is kind of hard to do those sometimes. However, it is still a good time. I definitely had a good run, and I was doing really good for someone that's not good at 3D action platformers. So that's a good time and a good sign. So Tiny Hands Adventure at $1.80, not bad. If you're looking for those kind of things, pick it up. Again, Blue Sunset gets the hat tip for awesome cheap games this time around. $1.20, JD Video Game Productions. It's Super 3D Maze 16. This game is rad. It's super rad. I had a blast playing this when I was on the Fun for 5 on this one. It's a really cool aesthetic. Maze in like a couple different ways. Like the stage turns itself after you get these different pickups and power-ups. It changes your perspective because it makes it a little harder to get through. The objectives, though, are not immensely difficult to get through. They're cool. It's very neat. Very awesome times. Definitely recommend the pickup on this one. Again, it's $1.20. Pick this one up. Support some indie devs. Like, let's go. Let's do some cool stuff. Definitely worth the time there. Roasty Bud Special Brew. This game is always kind of on sale, but it's on sale for $4.54. It is really, really cool. Love the design aesthetic on this one. They update it almost every other month with some kind of brand new content. It's the game that keeps giving. And for $5, like, come on, guys. Like, again, support some indie devs, especially when they're pouring heart and soul into a game. And, I really recognize the effort on that kind of thing. I haven't really revisited it since the last big major update that they put out. I think it was like 6 months ago. But there's been 2 or 3 updates since then. So they're keeping on working on this game. It is really cool to see that. Really cool to have that support. Early access update 3.9 and 3/4. I think they're having fun with that too. That's really awesome. Definitely go ahead and check that out. And I hope it is a good time for you if you do. So then we get into games that are in the 2025 list of games that are up for Game of the Year, of the unofficial Game of the Year announcement that just came out, was yesterday, I think. I'm recording it on the day of, but on the day of the announcement that I did my Newsline on. However, you're going to get the video midday tomorrow, the 23rd. So anyway, Sir Questionnaire is one of those games from Orange Pixel. It's $2.74 instead of the $4 and something cents, because this was originally $5. This one is kind of cool. It's a kind of cool, like weird, like old school game aesthetic, where you're like answering like survey questions, building inventories, going on quests to help different people or beings. It is kind of an interesting game to say the least. I did have fun on the Fun for Five though, so I think it's pretty cool. And for $2.74, I mean, again, support some indie devs, check out some games that you might not have checked out before, and it's a good time. Looney Landers from Pixel Games is the third game in that. Hey, what if games from the 80s, came back to us, but they didn't actually ever come out in the 80s. Kind of thing. This one is a neat game. It's kind of like like those parachute games where you have to like catch the guy parachuting and get points by doing it accurately. Only this time you have control over the person that's coming out of the plane. You have to land on platforms and avoid obstacles. Avoid obstacles. It's really neat. It's definitely a cool game. Again, of all of them, I'm still in love with Donut Dodo, but that doesn't mean that for $5.90, 99 cents, I'm not recommending this, because I am. Definitely good times, definitely worth your time. And go ahead and check it out. Ataxagon is our next game from Kraz Productions and eSolutions. This one has this is like one of those, I don't know, it's like Othello or like, yeah, I think it's Othello, or I think they were trying to make another nod to a different type of game that's kind of like this. But it's like a board game style game, where you can, have all sorts of different layouts, all sorts of different like play styles and stuff. Very cool. $5.39, just a couple cents off, but worth checking out if you're into those kind of things. Mazem's really cool. It's only 50 cents off. But it's like that old school, like get out of the room by like shifting things, and you only have a certain amount of attempts and all that. Very, very neat though. Very cool. I think it's worth your time, even if it's not really a big deal on sale. Now we go back to the Atari land for Breakout Beyond. Now, Breakout Beyond has a special place in this guy's heart. This was first introduced as Breakout, a game for the Intellivision Amico back in the day from Choice Provisions. This game's aesthetic is super cool. It's Breakout literally turned to the side. It's a side view game. It works with the classic controller, so you can actually have that like kind of like rotating kind of a feel, just like on the original Breakout. It is a neat game. Once you get the sensitivity right, it plays super well. It's really cool. It's got a great audio aesthetic. And if you're a fan of Brick Breakers, once you get into a groove on this thing, it is awesome. It's so good to play. I definitely really like this one, and had a good time on the Fun for Five. And like I said, once you get under that $10 price point at $8.24, automatic recommendation. And I hope you guys have a good time in case you didn't pick it up. Video Poker Collection from eSolutions and Crash Productions, down a couple bucks, or like a buck or two or something like that. $6.39. It's poker, and if you like poker, you can play poker, and it's exactly what it was. I had an okay time when I was playing on the Fun for Five, and if you guys are really into that stuff, it's got 15 different variations of poker, and you can get it for $6. It's pretty cool. There you go. Gauntlet of Power is an Orange Pixel action RPG shooter, where it's kind of like one of those like survivor shooter thingies. Very cool. I really like it. I really like the upgrades and the design aesthetic. I think it's really neat. Definitely had a Fun for Five time when I played it on that Fun for Five. I had a good time. With it. And at $7.69, down from $13.99. Not a bad price either. It's under that $10 price point. Definitely recommend it. And hope you guys have fun playing it. Assault on Metaltron from Blue Sunset Games. This is $3.25. And this is essentially a tower defense game. And if you're into the tower defense stuff, this is like a cool version of it. It's got the cool futuristic planetary defense kind of coolness. Got really cool weapons and a really cool aesthetic. Those kind of things are really awesome. If you're not into tower defense, I mean, I can understand you skipping out on this one, but at $3.25, maybe it turns the tide for you. I don't know. So there you go. There's that. We're back to yet another Atari game on sale, which is awesome. It's Jeff Minter, and he's back with some crazy nonsense. Look at this. Look at these graphics. It's absolutely bonkers to see like these things happening on your screen, but they will happen if you get iRobot. This is one of those games where I had played it before, but not necessarily on the Atari VCS, so I skipped out on the Fun for Five, but not for long, because this is part of that mix of games in the top of the 2025 release list. So that means I need to play it in order to vote on the Atari VCS users Game of the Year list. So if I want to vote, I got to play. So I will play. And at $8.24, you can play too, because it's on sale and for not a bad price. So if you're into Jeff Minter's crazy nonsense, definitely give that one a shot. We're going to 8-Bit Bakery from Shiphaven Games. I just did a Fun for Five on this. I will not let you know exactly what the score was, but look at the aesthetic. You can probably tell that I kind of like games that look like they used to be arcade games that may or may not have ever happened, and they may be some fun times to be had when you play a game like this. And I may or may not have gone on a pretty decent run when I did some learning about how to play. So if you learn how to play too, you might be able to go on a nice run and have a good time. For $7.50, it was a better time than for paying full price, that's for sure. It's 50% off right now at $7.50. I will say that just on that alone, it's a pretty good deal. So you might want to check it out. And other than that, wait for the Fun for Five. It's not going to be too long. Galactic Intrusion 2 Electric Boogaloo is out. I think I did this one. I did do a Fun for Five on. I think I did have a good time playing this. This is $4.49, only 50 cents off. But these games, these Kiki 2600 games, are pretty cool. I think one of them, in fact, it's not on sale, but I'm pretty sure one of these is in the running for really high up on that list for Game of the Year, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say one of them got the coveted Certified Good Times. Not this one, but there was another one that has to do with torpedoes. But anyway, some of these games are really cool, and you should probably check them out if you're into the old school, revamped homebrew 2600, 7800 games. It's cool. It's cool. Last Stop is one that I had to learn how to play by unplugging my controller, but a game that is really crazy to see running on Atari VCS. So if you're looking for just a technical showpiece to kind of like show people like, oh, hey, these kind of games actually do run on an Atari VCS. And they're like, wait, what? They can? Yes, they can. For $9.59, so just under $10, a couple bucks off from the original price. And you too can show your friends that, hey, this stuff can run on Atari VCS. And it actually runs pretty well, not going to lie. It's pretty good times. Check out Blitz Shopping Dead. It's down to $2 from $7.99, so that's 75% off. It's an arcade roguelike that's got some cool design aesthetics, some like cool like kind of cutesy graphics, kind of like it's got that like Plants vs Zombies kind of feel, but it's a different type of game. It's definitely like an arcade shooter kind of thing with some upgrade material attached to it. Not bad for $2. Not a bad thing. Definitely recommend it. We're back again to the Atari land. I cannot stress enough how awesome this is that Atari games are back on sale, and it's for decent amounts of money. Adventure of Samsara unfortunately came out on the same day as another awesome roguelite that has taken the world by storm. But this is also a 2D rogue kind of thing, Castlevania, Metroidvania, whatever you guys want to call it, aesthetic. Got some really cool things. Had a blast playing this on the Fun for Five. I just think it's criminally crushed by the game that is out there in the same kind of vein. But if you guys missed it, it's nearly $10 off here at $10.99. I'd recommend it. I would absolutely recommend it for the deal. It's a spiritual successor to Adventure itself. It's from Atari. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. I would definitely check it out. Karamuju Light Edition from Kiki 2600 and Kraz Productions. A platformer of patience is 100% the tagline you should be taking into playing this game if you choose to do so. It is a cool game that we just did a Fun for Five on, so I will take the remarks and kind of dial them back a little, not necessarily saying whether or not it's a full recommend or not. At $4.49, it's only 50 cents off, which is actually not a, it's like not a huge deal, but also it's not bad. It's not bad. So definitely check it out if you are into some platformers that will make you think about what is a platformer and what needs to be done to platformers to make them work better. Yes, just trust me on that. Flap Ninja 2600 from Kiki 2600 and Kraz Productions. I think it's actually like a Flappy Bird clone. I hadn't played this one yet. It will be played. It's a Fun for Five that is waiting in the dockets because of the Game of the Year contention. It's $2.60, and I'm gonna check it out. So it's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's a ninja. Flap your way through the skies with Ninja Taikeishi, descendant of the legendary Hashiru. Oh, it's kind of cool. But we gotta read some manuals. We gotta do some cool things, and hopefully we'll play the game in a little bit. But anytime you get a game that's like under $3 or $4, I mean, it's usually an automatic recommend for me. So we're getting to the nitty gritty. We're getting to the end. So let's push on through. Blue Sunset Games is back with Glaive Brick Breaker. This is one of those ones that it had a little bit of a bumpy launch, but once it came out and it was patched and it was cool, I had a good time playing it. I love Brick Breaker, so it's a little bit of a thing for me where it's one of those times where I'm like, man, I don't want to have it be a game that I really overly recommend because of my love for Brick Breakers, but I think is also a really cool game. And at $4.19, it's under $5 from $7. It's good times. Definitely check it out. If you're into Brick Breakers, I would just say pick it up. If not, check it out. It's under $5. So, and it hat tip yet again to Blue Sunset. So, Dead of Night 2600, couple cents off. Starship Films and Kraz Productions with a 3-pack. This one is more like the ET-ish game where you're running around trying to figure things out and go through a story. We did a Fun for Five on this one. It was kind of okay, but but if you're into that kind of thing, movie-based games and that kind of stuff, $5.17 is still not a bad price. Laughing Boy at $3.09. This one I haven't played yet. We will be Fun for Fiving it soon, but it's $3. So I mean, again, not bad. And it's an exclusive to the Atari VCS and digital. And again, it's based on a movie, which is kind of cool. And another one that we're going to do very, 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 very soon, as far as the Fun for Five goes. In fact, it's the next one that's on my list. Is Conjoined. This is a really interesting comedy horror movie that's translated to a VCS 2600 game. I mean, again, it's pretty wild. So definitely check it out. $6.89 for this one, just a little bit of a discount on that one. So it's cool. I like the fact that there's these kind of weird indie projects floating around on VCS. I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it a lot. Barbaro, it's half off for $1.50. This definitely feels like a game that got it got kind of like, I don't know, like converted from a mobile game, but it doesn't. You want the touch, but you don't get the touch. It's cool and it's easy to control, but it's hard to like control precisely with the regular controller. You almost want you almost want mouse support or to be able to actually touch your screen in order to do this. But it's a game where you're trimming doggy's hair. You have a little pet grooming shop. So anyway, it's $1.50 because there's it. There you go. So anyway, Maze Lab Redux gets an automatic recommendation at any price. It was originally $3.86. It's $2.70 on sale. It's from Limited Productions, otherwise known as Obsidian Contraptions. It's awesome. It's totally that super awesome old school PC aesthetic. It's a maze game. You have to find your way out. You have to, like test traps and do all this other. I love the aesthetic. Love the music behind it. It's got like really cool, moody music. Very awesome. Very worth your time. Please check this one out. And definitely pick it up. And again, you can't go wrong for $2.70. Cyber Run Low Tech is a game, again, from Crash Productions and Kiki 2600. It's a sequel to Cyber Run on for the Panic Playdate and a new chapter in the Ghost from the Run saga from Crash Productions. Very cool. It's a neat little game. It can get a little tedious, a little difficult, but if you stick with it, it's rewarding. It's a rewarding experience. And for $9.74, you just got it under that $10 barrier by 50 cents. It's cool. Like we're getting the 50 cents off. It's still a cool one. I'd still say if you're into that whole 2600 homebrew aesthetic, definitely pick this one up. If not, maybe you want to wait for the next sale and see if it goes a little deeper. But at least for this one, if you're into that kind of thing, again, support some indie devs. At least you're getting a couple cents off here. Not bad at all. Meganoid Chronicles from Orange Pixel at $2.74. That's just about half off. 100 levels of platforming, like hard goodness. I liked playing this one on the Fun for Five. It was really kind of cool. Definitely a cool aesthetic. And again, at $2.74, it's pretty cool. It's definitely cool. So I would say that's a pickup recommendation for me to you. Ahara, we just did the Fun for Five on this one. It's $6. It came out and it was on sale already. Very interesting, very atmospheric, very play if you like not knowing what to do, and just kind of exploring and figuring it out as you go. If you're into that kind of thing, definitely pick this one up. If you're not into that thing, you might want to read a little bit more before you go and try to get into this one, because it is 100% one of those games where you have to just kind of learn your way through. All right, so definitely keep that in mind on this one, but I won't say anything more or what my score was, because the Fun for Five is incoming, and that's about that. Then we've got Ink the Beginning. It's another one that is from Orange Pixel on sale for $2.74. Looking kind of cool, looking like a neat little action platformer kind of deal. However, this is on the list for things that I need to Fun for Five. I have not done that yet to this game. So all I will say, it's $2.74. And if you're looking for brand new games, this one just recently came out. It's already on sale. So, pick it up now. If you're going to pick it up, do it now. Neoterra is another one of the games where it looks like a classic shoot 'em up that describes itself as not a bullet hell shooter, but just a classic shoot 'em up. So like an R-type style kind of game, looking very R-type to me, and kind of cool. $2.74 just recently came out, so it's already on sale after it came out. Have not yet played this yet in a Fun for Five, but I will, because we're doing all of the games for the Game of the Year list, so we got to get through it, and that's where we're at. And that, folks, breath at an hour and 5 minutes gets you through all 76 games in the list for the Atari VCS sale. Lots of really awesome games to check out. Again, if you've gotten with this, if you've gotten through this with me through the hour, thank you for hanging out with me for that long as we go through all these games. I absolutely love doing these, and it's pretty cool. But I'm just going to give you some highlights, and when we get into the big box, so just stick with me real quick, and we'll go through that list, and then we're going to get out of here. All right, that is your Atari VCS sale review video for December 2025 sales. They should run through the holiday season and all the way through, I think, until January or right before the new year, I think is when they run these sales and then kind of close them off. So should be plenty of time, even if you got if you're going to get an Atari VCS on the holidays and you don't know what to get. Hopefully you find this video, you get some recommendations, and you jump on in and you get some good games at great prices. Definitely, though, if you're at the end of this video and you want some quick hit recommendations, you can't go wrong with anything under $5 is really what the rule of thumb is. So with that being said, Atari VCS Vault 2 at $1.25 is a must buy, absolutely must buy. Any of those Blue Sunset games that went under $2, Skinny and Franco, Planetary Defense Force, Ultimate Ski Jumping, all those titles, Planetary Superstar Shooter 16, all those games that are Super 3D Maze 16. It's a fantastic game. That's at that $2 price point. Check out Blitz Shopping Dead at $2. Maze Lab Redux at $2.70. All those games that are around that price point, very good, very highly recommended. Every single one of the recharge games at $3.50, stellar. Go and grab those 100%. Even at the above $10 mark, Atari 50 for $16.49. Again, if you do not have Atari 50, get it. Atari Mania at $6.25 is another awesome game that I think might be getting overshadowed and overlooked. Definitely check that out. Food Fight Culinary Combat, if you're into that kind of like party shooter, $5.25. Let's get a whole bunch of VCS players to buy it. Just let's go. Let's play. Let's play some online because that would be kind of cool. And many, many more. But those are the highlights. Those are the ones that I'm going to pick because it's just based on price point. And again, I'll throw in another one. Adventure of Samsara at $10.99. It's just about 50% off right now. It's a spiritual successor to Adventure. It's got that Metroidvania feel. I know it got crushed by the Hollow Knight sequel, but again, it's time. It's now on sale. It's time. VCS owners, come on and flock and get a really awesome Metroidvania that's made by Atari. It's good stuff. And even Neosprint too. As another game to just check out. Again, there's so many games on this list. But if you gotta take one with a bullet, and you don't have it already, if you guys go all the way down that list, and you get to Atari VCS Vault 2 and you do not own it for $1.25, you get 100 games. Buy it right now. $1.25, 100 games. Come on, let's go. So there you have it, folks. That's the list. That's the sale. It's an hour. We got to get out of here because I got to go to bed. Thank you guys all so much for watching. We got to do one thing and one thing only before we leave, though, and you guys know what that is, and that's thank every single member of the Good Times Club. So let's do that right now. Let's thank Empty Pixel Gaming. Let's thank Cribs and Cross, George Games, Chris Westerman, Phantom Fiction, Lloyd Argent, Papa Pete, The Intellivision Gamer, Ken LaCure, Mr. Shua, John Woolley, Gunsy20, Herb Wars, DF, Joe Wetlash, David Valdez, Dr. Mark, Mad Scientist, Dan Nastic. I don't know why I keep doing that. And the Retro Creep, also known as the Atari Creep. He's in there too. Thank you guys so much for your support, for your awesomeness, for 1080p StreamYard glory, not only here with StreamYard, but over on Ed's channel, the Evercade Effect, and the Evercast, and Calling All Retro Gamers, all places you can go and see me and Ed and people talking about all sorts of cool games and all that stuff. But we can't thank you guys enough and the GTC the Good Times Club, for your support. It means so much to us, because without it, we couldn't be doing all this cool stuff in StreamYard. And that makes the videos come out slower, and it makes the quality less, and all of that good stuff. So thank you guys all so much for your support. Again, thank you. If you want to be a member and join in the crew that helps us do all that stuff and make all these cool videos, hit the join button. Come on in, get some exclusive content. When you do, we get a cool exclusive series. Sometimes we talk about football. Sometimes we talk about the goings on here at Bacon Ice Cream Productions and how you can directly affect what we do here on the channel. It's called the Good Times Club meetings. Those happen every month. You get those every month. Sometimes you get, the football things are happening every week, doing every week all the way through the season and the postseason. We're doing pick'ems, which is going to be great. It's cool. It's a really cool thing. And then, hope you just come in and hang out. But if not, that's okay. Leave likes, leave dislikes, leave comments for sure. Leave all sorts of cool stuff. Don't forget on the way out to hit the subscribe button in case you want to hear more news. We talk news about Atari VCS, Polymega, Evercade, and more right here on the channel. Cannot wait to share some more things. I got some really cool stories here in the holiday season. So hopefully you'll be able to hear that very soon. And other than that, that's about it. So hope you guys are doing all that thing, do all the YouTube stuff again, if you can, for me on the way out. And we will catch you next time for some good times. I'm Rich, and we will see you later. Wow, can't believe I made it. It's a whole hour. Hope you guys made it too. Thanks. And check it out. Every time we do a sale, every time Atari does a sale, I do a breakdown like this. So if you guys like it, let me know down below too. All right? Thanks, guys. Catch you later.
rtfc.baconicecream.com